you think the American dream exists in modern day society?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it exists. I think everyone makes their own American dream. I don't necessarily think it's having 2 kids with a house with a fence and a car. I think it's becoming what you really hope you want to be.
No, I don't think America today has the social mobility that we used to have. I think we're a much more caste-based society than we like to admit to ourselves.
America prides itself on being equal, and you can pretty much make anything of what you want to be.
I think American dream is the wish and desire to progress in society.
I guess it means, like, to me, having a house and, like, kids and a nice job and stuff like that.
I think the American dream for me means to, like, work hard to get what you want.
Sorry, it's still like everyone still has that chance, but I think more people are more established and there's less people like starting from the ground.
I guess the American dream is just like the ability to better yourself regardless of where you're born, to be able to kind of like move up the rungs of society, so to speak.
I think it's also a lot of like seeing how much farther you can get as compared to other people, and like seeing if you can do better than other people. I think that happens a lot in our society.
The American dream in modern day society is to be both successful and happy in like family life, business life, stuff like that.
I think being able to achieve your goals by working hard, like no matter what kind of base that you start at.
Going after what you want to live like a happy, fulfilling life.
Yeah, so like I think it exists in modern day society.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you define the American dream.
How do you define it?
Well, I guess like the stereotypical view of it was the idea that you could work your way up from a lower social class all the way to the top through hard work and labor, or not necessarily labor, just hard work and persistence. And so if we accept that as the definition of the American dream, then I don't think it exists in modern day society anymore.
I don't think it's what it used to be, like in the 1940s or like during the World War era. It was a lot more prominent, especially with like the melting pot, but I still think it's here. I still think you're able to better oneself and move up. I absolutely think that.
Are there advantages or disadvantages for the individual and society if people only try to pursue their very own dreams?
Well, I think if people are striving to have the American dream, it kind of, if a lot of people are doing it, then it kind of makes society better as a whole. So I think that's an advantage. I don't think it's like people being selfish.
Well, I mean, if you pursue your own dream, obviously you have a better chance of realizing it. But obviously it's going to hurt others around you if you just look out for yourself. Like your kids, if you're married, or your wife, or something like that. So you have to consider others.
Right, like if you just if you do that, if you just pursue your own like dreams, and like it can lead to like greed and selfishness, like you being selfish, and you don't really think about others. Like you could be doing good, but like people around you might be doing really bad, so you'd be like really greedy over money and all that. So it could be good. Definitely we need it for the country, but like sometimes if it's to an excess, it's pretty bad.
Well, if people only try to pursue their own dreams, they're only looking out for themselves and not for the good of society. But in order to make society function, some have to make sacrifices, but also some have to rise to the occasion and progress through society and better themselves.
Well, the advantages for the individual is that you'll probably end up achieving your dreams. If you're only pursuing your own dreams, it's kind of greedy, and you can end up negatively affecting other people.
Do you think the current government is supporting or destroying the American dream?
I think the government supports the American dream. My Obama shirt, woo. I think with education, that's the biggest thing that we need to fulfill the American dream and give everyone equal education opportunities.
I mean, I think the American dream is what you make of it. I mean, the government can play a part in it, but I still think you need to work hard to get it no matter what. No matter what the government says about it.
Right, like I just think that it's really up to you. The government like could kind of interfere with like your business and all that, but like it really this country has been based off like making it on your own.
I think it's destroying it because the economy is not getting better. It's actually getting worse. So, in a sense, that can kind of deter people from wanting to excel more.
I think the government structure, like, still, like, it just allows for it. There's government funding for a lot of especially underrepresented groups. So I think it does kind of fund that.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. I think there are like social welfare programs and stuff like that that can help even the playing field, which will give people a truly equal opportunity to rise up in social standings. So I definitely think there are things that the government can do.
I agree.
I think that's a matter of opinion. It depends on whether you're asking like a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal. I definitely think they're not, if you ask me, and I think they're destroying it, they're not doing it purposefully. They definitely at least have the idea and the goal of keeping the American dream, but at least within Congress with all this kind of like non-movement, with all this gridlock, they're definitely not helping the American dream in my opinion.
I think it's changed. I think it changes over time, and it's about different things. I don't think people can. I don't really think people can go from rags to riches. I think they need to have support for the government, and I think Obama's been doing a really good job with trying to provide equal opportunity.
I think the American dream's evolved over time because, like, before it was just about having a decent job and having your family and the picket fence and everything, and now it's kind of evolved into a much grander scale, and people are trying to, you know, accomplish much more than they were in the past. So I think it's definitely growing. Motivation is.
I think it's become a tool, like a propaganda tool, kind of. People like to toss it around, or toss that word around, but neither candidate has really taken the time to address the fact that it no longer exists and what they want to do to try to bring it back. They just sort of talk about it as though it's still there. I don't know. I just think it's become a buzzword.
I think it's also a tool just used by upper class to like make lower class individuals feel like there's hope when there's really not much.
I think a lot of people have like lost hope in the American dream because you know, there's unemployment. There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs and losing their homes and stuff, even despite the fact that they're going to work every day and they're working hard. And it's just the current status of the economy is not having enough to go around, really.
Yeah.
How has it changed? I guess just society's kind of, it's not as fluid as it used to be. Like back in the day during the World Wars, there was like all that, there was the mass immigration. There were so many immigrants who came here with the goal of becoming prosperous just by the work off their brow and all that good stuff. So it's definitely not what it used to be because there's not as much there aren't as many new people who are coming with that specific dream, and instead you get all these grandsons or great-grandsons or daughters of those people who came. They're already used to what America's given them, and they're not as aspiring as their ancestors, I guess. But it's still possible, and it's still there.
Can you think of any particular artist or musician that embodies your view of the American dream?
The American dream.
You know, there are songs like American Idiot and like all these different.
Any particular artist
Besides the national anthem.
That was my guess. Embodies your view of the American dream. I'm off the top of my head, and this is weird because I do not listen to his music at all. Eminem kind of came up,
okay,
from the bottom, and he made his way from his talent and made a name for himself out of his talent. So I would say him.